Good morning. It's 11:11 a.m. 11:11, one of my favorite numbers. The 25th of May, 2022, guys, and I am so freaking exhausted. I can't think straight. So I thought I'd make a video now because I really wanted to make one last night, but I couldn't remember what I'd said in the morning video. So I thought it'd be a really good idea to go back and watch the last few videos I've made that I hadn't seen. And that was not, yesterday's was one of them, but the two made the night before, I still hadn't seen either. So by the time I watched all of them, I was too exhausted to make a video. Plus the happy, bubbly wine weed self had sort of become time for sleepy. But, right, today, I knew I had an online work meeting today for the walkthrough of the venue we're doing our workshop in. I thought it was 10:30. Turns out it wouldn't have made any difference anyway, because I've literally had to check my phone to see if I spoke to Rachel this morning, because I just don't fucking remember. This dream that I keep having, and they're so real that it's very confusing about what's real and what's not when I'm in this very half semi-consciously awake state. So, according to the phone, I have spoken to her. I don't know how that went. She was up, I obviously imagine. So good, I hope. Let me think. Right, so the first thing I wanted to mention this morning was the fact that it has now come to a point, and I'm sure you could tell because I'm very much struggling with my eyes as it is, and that's to keep them open, that I have to accept, and I've been trying to do this for years. I'm 36 and a half, guys. It's a long time. I've been trying to figure this out. But I have to accept that absolutely everything is going to take twice as long, because days like yesterday, for example, of course he wants out when I start fucking videoing and the door shut. Come on, buddy, let mummy just finish. Anyway, so days like yesterday were long, yeah? I was up early, obviously I rang Rachel. I spent a bit of time talking to her on the phone while eating breakfast and filling my pillbox and doing all of that stuff. I knew I needed to be where I needed to be by 10:30, and I think I said in the video, like, I was checking throughout the morning to see the time. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people who are either really early to something and I have to wait, or not on time. Yesterday was one of those not on time days, which always bugged me more when I've had so much time to get there. So you're going to have to come for a walk with me, guys, while I let Boss out of the bedroom, because of course he wants to do that, right? The bedroom door is closed because I had the heater on. I originally chucked the main heat on, but again, not really awake enough to be using much of my house. I'll just put my motorbike boot there as a door stop. Hold on, guys. Don't you just love the fact that I don't edit anything, which means this is all so very real. Like I keep saying, I make my videos as if they are live, because one day I will make live videos. That's just not today, and I don't see that being anytime soon either. So, alright, he can do what he wants. That's good. I actually turned the heater off because I don't know how much noise it makes in the background. All the moving with the fucking stand this thing's on probably is creaking. I mention all of this stuff because, as I've said, guys, I upload absolutely everything the second I've made it. Unless it's a situation like fucking feeding Sebastian on my therapy session, which I still haven't done, and I very much want up on the internet, if for no other reason, but I want it there. Maybe in my half-conscious state I'll do that after this. I have been saying that for a while, and I keep not doing it, and I think the reason I'm not doing it is, again, subconsciously, it's like I'm very about the timeline. I really hate shit being in the wrong order because it confuses the fuck out of me. I'm sure it might confuse you guys too, but therapy is therapy, regardless of where it sits in the time frame. It's a therapy session, and I want it up online. So that will be done. And more than anything, when it comes to feeding Sebastian, like I said, excuse me, I've never tried to film him while feeding him using the stand backwards, so I just don't even know if it worked. And again, it's that feeling of, if I go back to watch these videos without uploading them first, I may not upload them. And that's not who I am. And I am who I am, the way that I am, exactly as I am, because that is me. And that is how I'm supposed to be. And I may be a completely unique, individually unicorn, crazy, fucking out there, whatever, to some of yous. But at 36.5 years old, I don't care. This is who I am. And what I believe in is that we are to be our authentic selves always. Because once you're being your authentic self, life just becomes easier. Now, those of you who've been watching me for a while will know that my authentic self is, as I've said, I'm a person who makes videos. I upload them, I don't watch them, I don't edit them. I clearly got no problems with sharing my entire life with you guys. But where was I going with that? My human side, obviously, authentic too, bit broken, lots broken, completely shattered, depending on what day of the fucking week it is, yeah? But I'm choosing again to focus on the good and what I know is okay. So, I'm going to explain yesterday from after the video, okay? Now, the reason I was late yesterday was because I made that video. Because as we're becoming aware, it's almost as if I jinx myself when I say I want to make a short video, because every time I've said that so far, it's gone for like 45 minutes to an hour. And yesterday, the phone call I had with my landlord was so important. And I knew that I had a packed day. I knew that I was seeing Vance and Pam afterwards, because they're leaving this weekend, I believe. And obviously I'd sort of messaged them in a bit of a like, oh my god, what the fuck, I don't know what's going to happen kind of state, or like, can I see you before you leave? So I knew I had all that going on. And yet, if anybody has a fucking cure for reflux, please tell me. Anyway, I had the phone call yesterday, as you would know if you watch my video. I got some better news. I'm not... Oh, now he's banging on the door. I know he's got food, and I know the fucking door's open. What's his problem? Anyway, I must sound like he bugs me, my dog, but he's, honest to God, my absolute best friend in the entire world, and a big part of why I'm humanly accepting that I'd rather sleep in a car with him than take a bullshit place, yeah? I have faith in the universe, and me, and people. People are the ones that I need to have faith in the most, and I had totally forgotten that. Thankfully, I'm now back remembering all this stuff, because there's so much shit that I learned and went through when I was going through my spiritual awakening, which very much started while I was smoking ice and with Mr. X. And it's like almost as if what started and what helped me see the world differently the more I sort of sunk back into my human self of must get clean, must do this, must go to uni, must get degrees, must get certificates, must get credible, must do plus, da, 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 da. It's like my spiritual side is there. I am very aware of what I think and what I say because of manifestation. Again, like I'm going to keep saying to you, the things that I would like to manifest the most are things that obviously I struggle to let go of. And you can't manifest something you're holding on to. You can't. It doesn't work like that. When I figure out a way to explain to you how it actually works, I will do so. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out how to make it work. Like, it's happening in my life. Every second of every fucking day, I talk about it, I guess, the way Christians do, and my father talks about Jesus Christ. Again, Vance, I will open my mind up to Jesus Christ if you open your mind up to manifestation and the laws of attraction. So I guess that's where we're at, yeah? They did, yeah, Sheila, I'm going to tell a story in order, otherwise I'm just going to confuse my fucking self right now. So, and mind you, it was like 11:22, another wonderful number, and I woke up at 10:15 to messages going, are you there? We're online, here's the link, and I was just like, oh, fuck, mate. One, I thought it was 10:30, as I've said, wouldn't have made a damn difference because I slept through everything. And it wasn't until I heard the beeping going off, which was obviously the messages coming through from my boss, that I was like, oh, fuck, I'm late. The damn thing started at 10. And it was 10:14 by this point. And I still needed to throw a top on and go to the bathroom because there's no way I would have been able to get through it without peeing first. But I was there. I made it. It's all good. I'm excited. Again, I really want to tell the story in order. Right. So yesterday I made my video, got the news that I got. It has helped me to function a little bit better. I'm not technically having had notice yet. My current landlord is not the one evicting me. That'll all go through the new owners, and that'll all have to be done by whatever the law states, and writing and this and that and everything else. And it could be at least a couple of months after the settlement goes through. I don't know. I guess I'm just choosing to go, well, at least with the board there, at least I'm aware of what's happening, because I just don't know when they would have told me otherwise. Meaning I can at least get shit into play. Like, first and foremost, it's Wednesday today. Actually, I can't speak for like more than an hour because I have just paid for my weed specialist appointment. That's at 12:30, and thank God my pension did go through, because that alone is like $286 or something like that. I get rebated back, so I think the lady said I'm out of pocket, like $86, $87, which is a lot, but I guess I need to talk to her and say, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing. Definitely won't be filming that one. So yeah, anyway, the poor lady that works for my specialist is very unwell with the flu. Like, as soon as she answered the phone, because I tried to send emails saying I need to cancel it and I need to cancel all my specialist appointments, they all cost a fortune. Like, I can deal with just my GP and my psychologist at the moment without having to pay all this extra money. But excuse me, she was like, I was way too sick to check yesterday and I knew you'd be busy today. And I'm like, and I said to her, I'm pretty sure the rest of the specialist like patients like myself will be understanding, because ever since like these restrictions have ended and like masks, people aren't wearing them anymore, and we're all sort of back to like normal, whatever the fuck normal is, life. The flu's back. Yeah, I know it. I've had it. She's got it. Everyone I know is getting it. I even sent her a picture of the cough medicine that Andrew picked up for me, because it's honestly the best one I've ever used, and I don't know if I've put a picture up or not. I think I have, because I remember mentioning that it's the same colour as the Wicked Witch of the West and the Wizard of Oz, the green. So I probably did. fuck me, man. All I do is like burp and have gas. Anyway, again, I am human. Who gives a fuck, right? The amount of years that I've spent worried about crap that are just so irrelevant in the big picture. Anyway, by making the video yesterday, which I think went for like 45 minutes or roughly around that, and I remember even saying in the video, everything is on my kitchen table, it's ready to go, it's ready to walk out the door. That was not true. I did not realize that until I finished making the video and went out there, and I was like, okay, so it is all on my kitchen table, so to speak, but it's not packed. I had to find a bigger bag. I had to rearrange stuff. I had to get water bottles, use the bathroom, fill up dog's water. The car was covered in condensation, so I had to like clear all of that. I was a good 15, 20 minutes later than I wanted to be, even just leaving my house, right? But divine timing is always at play. Even when the darkest of darkness hits me and I can't feel my higher self, which is what causes the ultimate breakdowns, I still know it's at play. It's just so fucking much harder to hold on to. But yesterday, I swear to fucking God, guys, it sounds like I am burping in between every single goddamn word. I don't know if that's coming across, but it very much might be. And if it is, what can I say? Just add it to the list of bullshit I deal with, yeah? So, divine timing yesterday, right. It was at play. There were so many things at play yesterday to show me I know that I'm okay. Like, I know I'm okay anyway, but like as I tried to explain to Andrew and I tried to explain to my father and stepmother yesterday, knowing I'm okay and feeling what I feel in those moments are two very different things. Because, what day was it? Today's Wednesday, so Monday, after the first original phone call with my landlord, like I said, guys, it's been a little while since I've been that afraid of hurting myself. And again, I don't speak like this because it's flippant. I speak like this because it's very, very real. What you see when you hear me talking, watch me, or whatever it is, doesn't even a little bit portray what the hell is happening in here, yeah? So those moments are scary, and those moments are why I video, upload to the internet, pick up my favorite sharp knife. I think we understand which one's better, yeah? So I want to keep making these videos, right? Plus, hurting yourself does not come into unconditional love for yourself. So I guess that clearly shows I've got so much to work on. Anyway, everything got pushed out. So once I checked the GPS, I sent my boss a message saying, okay, it says I'm going to take this long. Do you know anything about parking? He was like, you just put this address in. So it was for the uni he goes to. Beautiful place. I've never been there. Didn't even know the place existed until yesterday, right, guys? Oh, maybe I could just get it out and just stop. Oh, doesn't feel like it's going to. Not that I want to manifest this bullshit, so, you know, but fuck, man, you'd be surprised how often I make these videos and I'm like, God, it'd be fucking weird if someone just decided to take all of my really shitty, bad parts, not the crying and the whatever, but the burping and the bloopers and the blah, 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 and then make it into something. Like, that'd be hilarious. I do hope it doesn't happen before I've disclosed to work, which I still really want to, but, you know, I'll get there. I guess maybe I should focus on the new website I've paid for and haven't done anything with. Anyway, back to yesterday, guys. This is what I mean. Takes fucking forever. I've got 1 hour until this meeting, and I've already been talking for 20 minutes. So I drove to wherever it was. Thankfully, it took me a way that was not through the main part of the city. I fucking hate driving in the city. It's so confusing. Tram lines and right hook turns and it was just like, I remember when I moved here at 18 and coming from New Zealand, and I was just like, this is a big, difficult, scary place. I don't ever want to drive in the city. Obviously, I have now. It's been a long time. I don't enjoy it any more than I did then. Anyway, I make it to wherever I'm meant to be going. And it's sort of like, if you imagine some universities, like you've got the main building, and then you've got like these big grass, beautiful areas for for people to come and sit and study and work groups and whatever it is, and these like cafes and cafeterias in the building, and there's like all these different sort of one-way streets with different parking levels and whatnot in parking places. Now, I have a disability car park permit. I've actually had it for years. Well, there was a gap in between where I didn't redo it, but I think that was because of the doctor I had at the time, and she was just very, you smoke, guys, I'm not doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, she'd help me the best she could, but she was very much treating me as a, you're an addict, I don't trust you, so to speak, and that doesn't really help or work for me in the slightest, since I'm not an addict and I very much need help. And just because I have once taken drugs to help me get through a point in my life does not mean that I should be discriminated against for the rest of my life. So all of you out there who may be in my boat or was in my boat, I'm sending you love and light, and I'm telling you now, you deserve all the help you can get regardless. Because I'm just going to keep saying it. People who take drugs are still people. They're still people. Fucking rude, ignorant cunts who treat people who take drugs like they're this lesser garbage, kick them under the fucking curb crap. Truthfully, I think they're the ones that need a good smack in the head, not the drug takers. But that's a different story. Anyway, yesterday, I'm trying to find a car park. Now, there's all these, like 2-hour parking, 4-hour parking. There was absolutely no disability, but there was quite a number of like people walking around. Now, I always say they look like police officers with their uniforms, but I think they're like the parking people, because they have these like really strict police looking uniforms on, but they wear these like really high-vis yellow sort of vests. And while I'd been driving around, I'd been watching 2 of them. Now, I understand in 2022 we are not supposed to assume, but I'm going to say, for the lack of a better word, there were 2 women walking together, okay? Now, as I've said in the past, and I'm trying not to make it a thing, sometimes I can be a bit awkward. Anyway, I'd finally found a park, right, guys? And it was one like, they were numbered, so I'd parked in number 31. There was like trees on either like side of me, and there was another car park and another tree, and then like a row, right? And the thing said 2 hours. And I was like, okay, like I've got no other choice. I have to pay the parking because I'm already running late. Like I was about 15 minutes late at this point. And I'd message them saying, I've parked. I just need to pay and I need to walk to where you're at. I'll message you when I'm in the reception area, yeah? And so, again, remember, I've seen these 2 high-vest ladies walking around. And I've parked, I've done all the shit I need to do. I think I'm always going to be one of those people who take what I could need, even if I don't need it, because there's nothing I hate more than going to get something I do need and not having it with me. That's just who I am. So, I had like a duffel bag, and it had like my computer, my chargers, phone chargers, obviously my work folder, you know, drink bottle and can of V and whatnot, yeah? So I was fluffing around doing that. I managed to get everything out of the car. I'm, again, taking my fucking sweet ass time, but not in a I'm slow, but just in a everything takes me longer. Anyway, so I looked at the curb, and again, these ladies are sort of getting closer, but I'm not paying very much attention to them, obviously. All I'm thinking at the moment is, oh my god, I wonder how fucking much this shit's gonna cost, because I'm thinking, like, parking costs a fortune. Oh, I hate the fact, like, it's again another blog. Just parking having to pay a fortune is dumb, if you ask me, especially in hospitals. That's a pet peeve of mine. That's why the fuck up here. But anyway, I had no idea, and I didn't know what was in my account, and I didn't know what I needed to do. So I sort of had the big duffel bag and my handbag, and I had stuff in my pockets, and I was going through my phone to check the bank account, to check that the one that I was going to use had the money to pay for the parking, right? And I think it was like $6 or $8 or something. It was something. It was 2 hours max. Might have been 4. I don't know. It was going to cost me like $8 to $10 for 2 hours. Again, now remember, I'm here. I'm on my phone. I'm flicking through shit. I've got multiple bags trying to do stuff. I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I know I'm number 31. So I select it, and then I'm selecting the max, and then it's asking, do I want to pay by coins or do I want to pay by card? So I click the card. Now I haven't paid by this point, and these two women arrive. So they're right next to me, yeah? And I guess it might have been fairly obvious to the next person that I was somewhat flustered. And they were lovely, and they were like, how you going? How was everything? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I was like, since you're here, can you help me, please? I think I'm a little bit confused about something. Now, keeping in mind, I've had disability car parking, over a space of a number of years. I said to them, how did I don't remember exactly how I said it. I said, I've got disability car parking. I said, I always get really confused about the rules. I was like, do you mind helping me understand, I guess they say. Like I said, and again, not word for word verbatim, I don't exactly remember in the moment. I just remember being flustered and these two women being there, and they were just so lovely. And they said, disability. They said, which car is yours? And I pointed, and I said, that one between the trees, and you can see the disabled car park sticker. And they're like, oh, don't pay for anything. And I'm looking at them, and I'm going, what? I said, it's not a disability car park. I wasn't able to find one. And they're like, oh, no. They're like, and then they go into this explanation, guys, I shit you not, that I just didn't fucking know until yesterday. And I'm swearing to you, like, divine timing. If they'd been, like, honestly 2 seconds later, I'd have paid by now. Because I was at that point to tap the card, yeah, when they arrived. And I said to them, obviously I know I don't have to pay when I park in a disability car park. I said, but I have driven around. I haven't been able to find one. I've had to park here, and I'm carrying this stuff, And I said, look, it's saying 2 hours. I don't know exactly how long. What do I do? Are there any sort of different rules having, like, the disability car park and the fact that I couldn't find, one of those parking spots? Can feel my lungs wheezing. It's like my internal self saying, stop fucking smoking, you dummy. Anyway, it's on my list of shit to do. Speaking of. Anyway, these ladies, they're so sweet. And they're like, you don't need to pay for your parking. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, are you sure? Because when sometimes someone says something to you and if it's not in writing, you think, oh, that's all well and good, but then what if I get a ticket anyway? There's no way to prove that I was told this, yeah? And I'm like, are you sure? I was like, and again, I say to them, but it's not a disability car park. I don't understand. And you remember, guys, I've been in like this fucking full-blown panic, sedated, flustered, like it's been a hell of a lot of emotions in the last couple of days, yeah? And they're looking at me and they're like, and then they tell me something that I am so fucking grateful for. And this is what I talk about when I talk about we all are abundant in ways. Abundancy happens in so many different levels, guys. I learned, the moral of this story is, I learned that if I park, I would like to get through one video without this fucking reflux. I learned that when I park in disability actual car parks that say 2 hours, that is the entire time I can park there. Okay? Turns out, if I park in any other parking that's paid for, so, you know, like I said, I parked in number 31 yesterday, and I went to select number 31 and select the maximum amount of 2 hours and pay the $8 or whatever it was. And it turns out by having the disability car park sign, whatever it is, one, I don't have to pay anything, which I very much did not know, because I have stressed about parking in so many times, like with dental appointments and everything else, and I just didn't know this. Not only do I not have to pay for whatever this particular car park is, but however long the sign says, I get double. So they say to me, they're like, you're currently parked. Then they go to me, which car is yours? Because as I said, pay station 1 to my car. It was very clearly in the eyesight. And I said to them, that one down there, the wagon with, you can see the disability sticker in the front. And they're like, okay, so this is a 2-hour car park. They're like, you immediately get 4. And then one of them goes, if you had, for example, parked in the middle row of car parks, which was 4-hour parking, she goes, you would have got 8. She goes, always, always, always better to park in a paid parking place, because you don't have to pay when you're on disability, and it's immediately doubled. Truly, truly did not know that, guys, until yesterday. And like I said, if it wasn't for divine timing, I wouldn't know that now. Because it was, by the time I'd driven around and I'd originally seen them, parked, got to there, fluffed and fumbled around, they got there. Within seconds, like I'm saying, 2 more seconds, I would have paid for it. And the lady said to me, have you paid? I said, no, I'm just about to. And she goes, don't do it, hit cancel. I was like, okay. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, so I've definitely got 4. And again, it's that human side of going, I don't have the proof. What if you guys disappear? What if something, you know, like somebody else comes along? And then they look at me and I guess maybe they could tell this is what was happening in my brain or what I was thinking. I got no idea. Anyway, they look at me and they're like, we know which car is yours. We're here all day. They're like, you are fine. Don't worry about a 4-hour limit. Don't worry about any limit. You can stay as long as you need to, and we promise you'll be fine. It's not going to cost you a thing. Don't worry about the limits. We're the ones on here for the day. And you're it. And all I remember saying to them was like, oh my god, like I've been so teary lately, guys. Like I tear up when I'm sad, happy, grateful, or like that's just who I am. I'm a very emotionally sensitive person. At 36 and a half, I have just decided to accept that. And I remember saying to them, oh my god, thank you so much. Like you've honestly no idea how grateful I am, how happy, how grateful I am. I said, I truly didn't know this. I said I've always tried where I can to park in the disabled car park, especially if it's a money thing, because I am on disability. Excuse me. And especially obviously with everything happening now. I didn't know. But yeah, there you go. If you've got a disabled car, and this is across all of Victoria, just so we know. She said it's the entire state, the whole of Melbourne, Victoria, like all of Victoria. If you have a disability car park thing, sticker, whatever you want to call it, and you park in a disabled car park for 2 hours, that's it. You've got 2 hours. You have to move. You will be ticketed. If you park anywhere else, I'm going to leave undercover parking in buildings aside, because that, again, I'm going to guess is different because you need tickets to get in and out. So I don't really know how that one works. But if you park anywhere in street parking, you don't have to pay for it and you get double the time. It's something I've just learned. Hopefully that helps other people out there who watch me, especially if you're in Melbourne, Victoria. Now, I made it to the building. Now, mind you, in between, like, making the video, and I remember yesterday saying there's a message come up. It's probably my boss. So I talked for fucking way longer than I thought I would or realized. So by the time I got off the video, and again, and I'm fucking up my timeline, because I'd already messaged my boss on Monday, like I've mentioned in the past couple of days, I messaged him, and I was just exactly like I am. I'm very raw, very real, and I was like, this is what's happening. I am struggling. I don't know what to do. Blah 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 blah. And then yesterday morning is when I tried to confirm with the car parking and the address. So in between me making that video and the texts coming through that I mentioned, when I stopped the video and checked my phone, I had multiple messages from my boss from like almost an hour before saying, hey Liv, I really don't want to put any more stress on you. Like, if you can't make this, please let us know. Tell us as soon as possible. We can reschedule, yada, yada, yada. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm coming. I'm absolutely coming. I have just received better news. I'll explain it when I see you. I've been looking forward to this. This is what's making me keep going. Yeah, like, this is my happy focusing on. So that was good. And I got there, and like I said, by the time I fucked around and I parked and I did that and I spoke to the woman and did all that, I think it was like maybe 10:47 or something, maybe 10:50, and I was meant to be there at 10:30, so it wasn't too bad. Now my boss has his own, I have no idea how this works, but let's say his own office, so to speak, like an area that he has, that's his. And I said right at the start, like, are we getting booted out at certain times? Like, obviously I understand that you guys have got the stuff on. I've got my folks coming, my father and stepmother coming, and I can just message them when I'm leaving here. So it went really well. We got there, we did the meeting. My boss sort of explained a few things to us, which I'm not going to share here because it's not. I only share other people's stories if it directly needs to be shared because it's a part of my story. What happened is a part of my story, but irrelevant to all of you guys. But I learned some new stuff, so that was good. And it really put into perspective what Rachel had said, because in her half-sleep state, I cannot remember if I mentioned it in yesterday's video or not. I'm pretty sure I would have. And she was like, you're doing all this work and you're not getting paid, so why are you even bothering? It's not worth your time or effort. And I'm just like, it might not be worth your time or effort. It might not be worth the next person's time or effort, but it's 1000% worth my time and effort. This is the beginning of something amazing. Our workshop in Queensland is legitimately the first. I think Andrew's across the road mowing. Good, I'm going to say hello. If I shut up fast enough. Anyway, so this one in Queensland is legitimately the very first actual workshop this company is holding, right, guys? As I've explained in the past, 2020 was when it was founded. Now was when it's starting. So the past few years, according, from what I know, is getting sponsors, grants, all sorts of things to get it to a point where we can go and do this, right? And me and my other team member were the same. We were like, it's not about the money. Even with everything happening, yep, I am grateful I'm going to get paid for the workshops. But as the boss said, he's like, as we get bigger, as we grow, as we get more sponsors, as we get more clients, as we get that he was like, the work you guys are doing, he goes, is being recognized. You know, you will be compensated. And I have faith in that. And again, it's like what I'm learning, the experiences, the fact that I've been dreaming about being a storyteller for years, so worth it to me. So, so, so worth it. Now, the actual meeting went extremely well. We did a lot of, back and forth working on how we're going to do it. Then we did an original run through. I had gotten myself very confused, which is not really a shock, let's face it, guys. My brain doesn't quite work like other people's, I've been told. And so when we did the original run through, I was lost because we were talking about doing the icebreakers, the acknowledgement to like the land and the people before us, and then there was like the intro from the boss, and then he'd come to me for my intro, and then I'd go to the next person who's in our team for their intro, and then that's when the workshop would start, right? Whereas I didn't realize that at the beginning. So when we did the run through the first time, it was like we went through, say, the icebreaker, the acknowledgement, the boss's introduction, as into how he came about to making this company, blah, 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 came to me. I did my intro, which again, I based it on a part of the audience. Like I didn't write or even think about an introduction that just explained who I was and why I was there. That just hadn't trivially crossed my mind in that sense. So when I did it, I did my part the way I've shown you guys that I did it to the camera with the, getting the crowd work done. And I went through it all and I could see my teammates' faces and I'm like, okay, so we get going. I handed it to the next one. She did her part, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, so there's something going on. I don't know what it is. I was like, but your faces are saying something that I'm unable to read. And I'm like, which is very confusing because I can usually read almost everyone. I said, but I don't know what I'm missing here at the moment. Can someone help me, fill me in? And my teammate was like, it was a bit long, it was a bit too formal, and the boss was like, it's a bit workshopy, and I'm looking at them going, huh? We're putting on a workshop, and I'm a storyteller, and I told a story. I'm still missing something. I'm still very much missing something here. And I just couldn't quite grasp it. And I know the boss went off to use the bathroom or do something, and me and my teammate were there, and I was like, please help me understand what it is that I'm not obviously understanding, because something isn't clicking for me into place. And again, because I'd said, wait, even with the facilitator, she was doing an intro, who she is, how she got there, why she's there. And I'm like, isn't that make her a storyteller too? I said, I'm real confused. And I said to the boss, I'm like, I've gone through both of the contracts, both of the positions. I said, from what I can gather, I said there is literally like 2 points that are different between a facilitator and a storyteller. I said, but yet we're all doing exactly the same amount of work. To me, it kind of feels like we're all sort of just level. There's no boss, facilitator, storyteller. It's just us. Excuse me. And they agreed for this one. Then it finally clicked into place. I was like, okay. So we sort of had another brainstorm and went through it. And that's when the penny dropped. It does sometimes usually take me a lot longer, but it finally dropped and I got there. Fucking coughing. These would be those moments when I think editing would probably be really good, but it's not happening. Anyway, the boss went back and explained his intro. And then they were like, so what we need to be doing, right, is introducing ourselves as people, who we are, and why we're a part of this company, and why we're doing these workshops. He's like, take away all the actual workshop stuff that is the workshop, yeah? He's like, this is just us introducing ourselves. Because they kept talking about 15 minutes and this and that. And I was like, even with me doing the like intro to the crowd and my story, I said, I know it's not 15 minutes. And that's when the facilitator was like, no, like 5 minutes for you, him, and me. That's like 15 minutes of introductions to begin with, like overall. So once I was able to grasp what it was that I had been missing, which was we do the icebreaker, do the acknowledgement, the boss is going to introduce himself, who he is, why he's there, and why he's founded the company. Then he's going to hand it to me. I'm then going to introduce myself. And again, I said to them, where would you like me to start in my story? I said, because how I ended up here started with smoking ice. I said, pretty sure that's not relevant to this, yeah? I said, but so many of my stories start there because they do. That's how that's why I'm here. I'm here because of what's happened. And so this is all happening on the fly for me at this point because I haven't even thought about it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what exactly am I allowed to say or not say? Because we're supposed to be talking about lived experience, yeah? So I said to them, okay, take away the actual story that I'm going to talk about in the unit and the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, on the fly, I said something along the lines of, hey, my name's Olivia. Everybody calls me Liv. I'm a storyteller. I'm a storyteller here and such. I'm like, you know, and then I said something along the lines of, how did I put it? I'm like, when I was 26 years old, I was told I would never be able to work ever again due to my very many invisible health, physical and mental conditions. I said that led to, and then I summed it up. I was like, 26 years old, I told I'd never work again, have over a dozen different things. They're all invisible. You can't tell. And that led me to an extremely dark place in my life. So I just used the dark place in my life. I said I then decided that I wanted to be able to help people like me. I said so I needed to figure myself out. And in doing so, that led me to university. I started having a dream of being a storyteller. I said I've been dreaming about being a storyteller for years, over 6 years now. I said, so I'm a university student. I've done other courses, and I came across this company to me by pure, well, again, I'm going to use manifestation, but I probably won't use that word in the actual introduction. But this was all on the fly. And then I was like, and now I'm a part of this team, and we're here, and we've come up from Melbourne, and I'm so happy to be here, to be someone that can help. And then that's when I hand it over to my colleague, and she does her introduction. And then once that happens, we're going to like throw it to the crowd. We'll use something, it's new for me, but they do it slightly different at uni, but it's like a Slido thing. So a big question will go up on the board or whatever it is, like the screens and stuff, and they use like their phone to do the QR code and then put it all in and stuff like that. And that's then when the actual workshop stuff starts. So once I got unconfused, I got my head around the whole, oh, yep, now I understand. And then I did the story, and then so we did a whole run through again, right? Like from beginning to end, the whole thing another time. After we'd done some more, brainstorming and yada yada yada. And now obviously I've got my story. My story's been printed out. I've edited my story. I haven't written it down. It's my story. Again, same as with the rest of them, like it's good to be able to see it, see what works and what doesn't. Plus, I really need to practice it because each time I told my story yesterday, it completely changed. So that's what I'll be working on. But I said to them, and that's when I was saying to them, I was like, I understand that subtly this is promoting our company. Obviously, we are mates. We're here to help. We're here to do this, blah, 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 blah. I said, but there are certain things that I've learned throughout my uni career. I said that I really, really wish I'd known right at the start. And I didn't. And I'm on a disability plan with my university, which just makes everything that a bit easier. I have note takers in uni. I have a lot of support through university. And I said to them, like, we're being our authentic selves using our stories. And again, one of the things I'd probably forgotten, which was the most important thing, was the most important takeaway from everything we say is our coping mechanisms and how it is that we deal with the anxiety or the social anxiety of university. So anyway, it went really fucking well. I'm really happy. I have said to all of you guys, to people I've worked with, volunteer. I've said it to my bosses, I've said it to my team. My most favourite way to cope or deal or learn about things is to talk to my camera. I have made it very clear that I talk to my camera all the time. Now, not once have they asked me about whether I share any of this, but I just say, you you turn your camera on, you make a video, you talk from the heart, you talk from your consciousness, whatever it is, and then you watch it back and you can learn so much about yourself. And because my boss has started making the videos and putting them on the company's YouTube, he's like, yeah, I fully agree, I totally understand, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, yeah, cool, awesome. So everything went well. That's the sum up of that one. We got a bite to eat for lunch. When we were done, all the flights have been booked. The flight itinerary's sitting there for me to look at. We're going up at I think it's like 9:30 in the morning. We get there by 11:30, so we've got time to get there, have lunch, time before it starts. So it starts at 3. Even if we allow until, say, 5, they reckon it's 2 hours, which will be enough time for people to ask questions and do all the stuff and whatnot. And apparently it's like, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've been up there to Queensland, but approximately, say, 30 to 40 minutes back to the airport. Got to be there an hour in advance. So our flight leaves at 6:55. And at first I was like, I just feel like it's not going to be late enough, like we're going to be rushed. It's this feeling or gut feeling I've got. And I said to him before he booked them, I'm like, can you bring up the rest of the flight so we can at least see what the differences between this flight and the later flights are? So clearly there was a money part. So the flights that we are going on and up and back are $99 each, right? Now, keeping in mind this is guesswork, but based on what I know about what I've been told, what I know, and all the rest of it, I'm guessing he's paying for everything out of his own pocket, right? Because I don't, unless there are grants or stuff, I'm not sure, but it's obviously we needed to be on the $99 ones, not the $150, $200 ones, right? So again, that cut it down, and it was either $6.55 or $8.55. And again, they were like, by the time we get back in to Melbourne, get home, I have it in a good way. Those two have to go straight to doing things. I will be coming home and sleeping for the entire following day. But once we sort of went through it step by step by step, we were like, okay, the 6:55 will be fun. That's the one we've booked. So that was good. Everything is good. I'm feeling really excited again. So my excitement and my happiness is back. I think the fact that I've accepted I need to defer uni, which is like a huge weight off my shoulders, because you've got no idea how much I've been just mentally beating myself up going, it's May, starts in July, where's all this practice, you don't know shit, once again you're failing, oh my god, the bullshit I have to listen to in my fucking head, yeah. So I've spoken to uni. I know what I've got to do. They've recommended, well, the person I was speaking to, they've asked if they can pass my details on to somebody else who help people like students in my situation. I was like, yes, please. I need all the help I can get. Because even though I now realize I'm not being evicted by my current landlord, nothing changes in the sense of I need to be saving immediately for bond and rent. I need to sort my shit out so that whenever I am given notice, I don't go into panic, because I don't know. It's almost like I was like, it's like my default, but I don't remember it being like this before. And I guess that's because I always was high on ice every other time. I've like mentioned all the different times I've had to move and flee and blah 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 blah, and I haven't talked about it in detail, and I will one day. But the only real difference is that I can now see is that I smoked ice throughout that entire time. That changes shit. So yeah, that's probably a big part of it. That and the fact that I've now got all the darkness coming out to be released. Last night I saw my father and my stepmother, and they've watched a couple. I said, oh, I've mentioned Pam advance in my videos a bit now, and they're like, yeah, we know it. And Pam was like, I like my name, and I was like, yeah, cool, I'm glad. These are just the first things that came to mind, when I started making them. And I said to my father, I was like, you want to get to know me? I was like, I've literally given you access to my deepest, darkest thoughts. I was like, do what Andrew did and go back to the beginning. I said, you've got it better than he did, because at least now my words like make sense and it's a lot easier to like navigate. And like, I think he sort of made this like laugh, and he's like, yeah, well, I'm still a busy man. I can't, and I'm like, dude, it's not about that to me. Like, whether you read them or not is irrelevant to me. You just have to remember, in the sense of, and I wish I had thought of it yesterday while he was here, but I didn't think of it until after. But if you watch this, you'll see it, and that is the only person it'll hurt if you don't want to get to know me to the depth of who I am is you, not me, because I don't have a father or a dad as far as I'm concerned. Right now, at 12:08 p.m. on the 25th of May 2022, I effectively feel like I have no parents. And I said to him yesterday, I would absolutely love to be able to call you my dad, to tell you I love you, to tell you, to feel like I've got one. And then last night I was thinking about it after they left. It's like, if I had a close relationship with my actual father and I called him dad and all of this stuff, when I imagine that relationship, right? And I'm not saying if back then, because you can't change the fucking past, you guys. What's happened has happened. I'm sitting where I'm sitting. That's it. Moving forward, when I imagine an actual real, not superficial, real fucking relationship with my dad, I see it being a really fucking good one, in the sense of we can give each other jives. Like, he doesn't believe in evolution, and I think he's absolutely fucking mad, and you can tell he's just like, that's another conversation for another day. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I want to be able to have a relationship with a parent where I'm just like, oh my god, dad, seriously, evolution. Our entire planet needs to evolve, or we're all fucking fucked. Um, and I want to be able to room and jive and just have a daughter-father relationship. Now, he loves me and tells me that all the time. Now, I cannot say it back. And I've said that to him. I said it to him yesterday. I don't want to hurt you, but I can't tell you I love you if I don't feel that. And I can't call you dad if I don't feel like I have one, which I don't. I would like to feel like I have one, because I may call mum mum, but really, if I had to honestly be like which parent should be called by their first fucking name, it'd be her. Not for any disrespect, just the simple fact of I love her to fucking pieces. She's mum. Ma, if you ever see my stuff, mum, which I highly, highly doubt that you will, I love you, but you continue to choose to do this. And at 70 in the next few months, it's the same as him. You want a real relationship with your kid, do something about it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep being me. Who I am, is who I am. You two are my parents for whatever the fuck reason. It turns out that it made me. I'm the fucking, I don't know. I don't know what else why yous were married, but anyway, I've been talking for again hit 1 hour. I need more coffee, and it's 12:11. So of course, I got my meeting. I've got no idea how long we'll go for, but just cost me whatever. Not that I'm complaining. Anyway, it went really well. And last night I planned on making a video. Instead, I just watched them all back. There's still probably things I haven't finished. I know there's videos I haven't watched back, like, because they said that they watched one that they think they watched after dinner, and the ones that I had after dinner was when I'm in my, I think, Strangest Things t-shirt and I'm smoking weed, and I already had wine at dinner. So I don't think I've watched those two yet. I'm not totally sure. Either way, I will get there. But it is day 146 as far as I know. And, well, I'm feeling a lot better than I was. And I watched Sunday night's one back, whenever that was. That might have been yesterday before, I don't know. But Sunday night's video I found really interesting. And the one thing I'm going to say before I wrap this up is that I have realized that by not putting, not writing titles that really tie into the main aspect of what I'm talking about, or putting sort of more information into the descriptions when I'm like making long videos and I'm tired or I'm stoned or whatever it might be, that could change. However, I don't know anything about algorithms and bullshit like that, but the views I get, because I'm pretty sure Sunday's video that I watched last night, I titled it something like, I could not roll a decent joint to save myself. And that was the overall, oh my God, the whole time I've been trying to roll joints, right? And it wasn't working. Yesterday, or whatever day it was, the following day, must have been yesterday, I don't fucking know, I realized that I was never one of those people that used a machine. I started using the machine because of how badly my hands hurt. I couldn't roll a joint on Sunday. I really couldn't. I got like 1.5 bullshit looking ones out of it. And again, I'm pretty sure it was saying, use your vape, use your vape. And, you know, any one of you guys out there who smokes weed, you'll all agree with me when I say vaping, bongs, joints, fucking peace pipes, well, they're all different. Food, oil, you know, edibles, every single fucking way of taking THC affects you differently. On saying that, my lungs hate me and I want my bomb back, but it's still a Rachel, so I guess it's a good thing. But yeah, just in regards to the titles, like that title doesn't even a little bit sum up even what the tone of the video is about. And because of how late and tired and this and that I was, I don't think I wrote fucking anything in it either. Now it's got like 700 views as is, which is cool. But there are certain videos like that where I watch them back and I'm like, yeah, those are the important ones. Those are the ones where I'm very aware, maybe now that I'm going to postpone uni and deal with all this stuff and take everything a bit easier until I figure out what's happening with my home, I can start the spreadsheet that I need. You know, apparently my father's a big spreadsheet person. I've always been a to-do list person, but I need to go back to the beginning of my videos and write what's in them, because I don't fucking know where anything is. I don't. Like, if someone said, hey, I want to watch a video about, I don't know, the day you thought you'd fix your vibrator charger, didn't work. But I have no clue. I could find it based on the title. I'd have to scroll and scroll and scroll though, guys. But yeah, so that's, I guess, where I'm at. Again, I've talked for, 1 hour, 4 minutes and 27 seconds. I'm going to shut up. I can hear Andrew mowing the lawns across the street. I've got 15 minutes until my appointment, so I don't know how long that goes for, but I'm going to go make me another coffee and I'm going to upload this. So may or may not talk later. But for now, bye guys.